Hello.
Hey there.
Hey, am I
Hey
the only
there.
one here so far? Let's
Yeah.
see. Yeah, I see that. Okay. All right. I need to go grab some water and do something with my hair right quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Stacy, we are actually live on YouTube, so you want to turn your mute and your camera. Welcome, welcome.
Hello.
Is that Tammy?
Yes.
Hi, Tammy. Nice to meet you. I'm
Nice.
Naomi.
Hi, Naomi. Nice to meet you.
So Stacy's here, but she just went in another room, so she'll be back.
Okay.
Hi, Tammy.
Hi, Sauda. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. Glad it's Friday. It's been a week.
Yes, man.
So ladies, do either one of you have the presentation? Soda and Tammy?
And Stacy's back. Tammy has her presentation and I have mine. So I will
Okay.
have mine up and ready to go as soon
Okay.
as Tammy is finished with hers.
Yes.
All right. Are you ready to put it up? Because I'll give you the
Yes.
who is going to share. I want to make sure I give you control.
Tammy.
Tammy.
Okay, Tammy.
Hi, Stacy.
Hey. So now Naomi, once Tammy is done, then I'm going to share. So do you need to give me control at that point?
Let me see.
Because when I run the Zoom, I don't have to give anybody control. Anybody can share. I'm not sure if yours is set up the same way.
I just have to make you co-host.
Okay.
So, okay. I hope that was it. So I'm going to stop sharing. Keep in mind, ladies, we are live on YouTube, so they see us doing our setup here. So don't say anything private.
And remember the golden rule, do not say soror, please. Sorors.
You just said it.
Had to get it out my system.
I didn't know that. I'm glad to hear that.
Yes, when we're
Well,
not amongst just Greeks, each other, we can't use that term.
and then people who aren't in the sorority aren't supposed to refer to us as that anyway. So it's good practice.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay. Do you guys see the presentation on the screen?
Yes.
I do.
Okay, great. I'm going to stop share for a second just to make sure that I've shared my sound as well.
Now remember, Naomi, I'm going to do an introduction in the very beginning, not an introduction, a welcome or a greeting. And then
I am just a fly on the wall.
okay. So will I be on the camera while I'm doing the introduction? I mean, I have my video off right now, but I can turn it back on and then
Yeah, as long as your video is on, yes.
okay, and then Tam, you can go ahead and share. Okay.
Okay. And I am actually, we do have the waiting room set up, so I am actually sitting here admitting people into the room.
Okay. Do you know how many RSVPs by any chance?
I saw 14 last take.
Okay.
I believe more are probably coming.
Miss Brittany, are you able, or is anybody else on here able to be on the YouTube at the same time, just in case we get any questions that come across YouTube? Because my presentation is actually going to be fairly interactive. It's as interactive as I can make it on Zoom.
Is Brittany on the call?
I see your name.
And so just so you know, I did leave the comments open this time on
Okay.
YouTube.
Okay,
So you
good,
can
good.
interact.
Okay.
Just, watch for photo bombs or video bombs, I guess I should say.
Ah, okay.
We haven't had that problem, thank God, but we have to always be alert.
It's true.
Okay, I see our faces on YouTube, so we're going.
Just let me know when I should start.
It's 4:50, so 5 o'clock. Okay. I'm so glad you guys are doing study abroad. Our kids don't hear enough about that. Welcome to everyone who has joined us. We will be starting soon.
Greetings, everyone, and good afternoon. My name is Stacy Whitehead, and I am a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, Tau Beta Omega Chapter. I'm glad that you joined us today because we're going to spend the next hour and a half learning about study abroad programs and when you go to college and HBCUs that offer study abroad programs. We're also going to learn how to write personal essays as they pertain to college applications. I hope that you are prepared to take notes. In fact, I highly recommend that you bring out some pen and paper because I'd like to make this an interactive presentation. So I'm going to let my sorority sister, Miss Tammy Mims, start off with the study abroad programs. Tammy, please take it away.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Tammy Mims, and I am going to be sharing with you some information about study abroad programs and a few of our fabulous historical Black colleges and universities who offer these programs. So for today, we're going to learn a little bit about what it means to study abroad, how it works. We're going to take a look at some study programs that are available at a few select HBCUs. I'm going to give you a little information about funding your trip, and I'll work to answer any questions you might have and try to point you in the right direction to find more information. So first of all, studying abroad, what is it all about? So I have a quick video for you. It gives some basic information.
Study abroad isn't just an international trip. It's a life-changing experience. It's a chance to live and learn in a place that's totally different from where you come from. And it's a chance to try to make an impact while you're there by using your own gifts and talents to serve the country you're in.
It's a whole collection of moments that will change your life. It's an experience that will bring you to people and places that you never thought you'd encounter.
It's a whole collection of different experiences that changes the way that you see the world. It's an experience to really question that idea of what is normal for you.
Study abroad is like this amazing opportunity to like leave your city, your country, your house, and to really go out there from your community and see brand new things that you never thought you could see before.
When you're taken out of your home location into a new environment, you begin to question, is this normal? Is this normal good? Is this normal bad? And then when you come back from all of these different experiences, you have a new story to tell. You have a new appreciation for what your normal is versus the normal that you lived in when you were abroad.
My most memorable memory from studying abroad is when I first stepped off the plane and I was like really jet lagged and I was tired and I was like, I can't deal with anything. But the next morning when I woke up, I could look outside my hotel room and I saw like the ocean. And from where I'm from, you don't see any ocean whatsoever. So just seeing that and like the really soft morning and being jet lagged, I was like, wow, I'm really here.
Study abroad will change the way you see the world and your place in it. It's a chance to live and learn in a place that's totally different from where you come from. And it's also a chance to build lifelong friendships and memories that'll stay with you for the rest of your life.
So that was just a little bit of information about what it is. But what does it mean to study abroad? Essentially, studying abroad means going to a different country with the genuine intention of doing more than just seeing the sights and checking places off of your bucket list. And it's a great way to learn in an immersive environment. That means you surround yourself with that culture, with everything that goes along with living there. It helps you to learn new languages. You can learn to appreciate other cultures. You can learn to overcome challenges of living in another country and also gain a greater understanding of the world, because things are different in different places in the world. And so basically, essentially, when you study abroad, the world becomes your classroom. And so often we are used to, studying. We go to school to learn. Sometimes we go to summer school. Sometimes we will study or take classes or go on the internet to learn. But when you study abroad, the world can be your classroom. And every place you go is like a textbook you get to open and learn from. And there are programs that are available around the world. And there are tons of universities that offer study abroad programs. You get to decide when you want to go and for how long you stay. And programs can range anywhere from 4 weeks to a semester to even an entire year. And it's amazing for personal growth. You get to build skills like self-reliance. You can build your communication skills, especially if you are learning and practicing another language. And it can make you more marketable in terms of your career that you choose, in terms of having a different sort of skill set for when you go into the workplace. And these are the top 10 study abroad destinations, but there are lots of other options. So we have Italy, Spain, England, France, Germany, Australia, Japan, China, Argentina, and Costa Rica. And if when you get a chance, you just Google study abroad, there is so much information out there. And my goal for today is to give you kind of a small part of that. And it works like this. Essentially, you would research your options, really deep, think about the idea, research your options. That includes the option for your college or university you're attending, and also just options that are available with different organizations that provide study abroad opportunities. And then you would apply for and get accepted in a program, either at your university or a travel abroad organization, and there are several. You would choose your destination and focus of study. Now, depending on your college or university, they have specific programs. And of course, you got to figure out how to pay for it. You got to determine your funding, but you'll be happy to know that there are tons of scholarships and grants that can help you to make that dream come true. And my sister actually had a chance to visit Africa when she was a college student. And here is a quote from her. She said the ability to travel abroad was the absolute highlight of her college career. As a group, we traveled to Europe and South Africa. Visiting South Africa just shortly after the end of apartheid and speaking to the citizens of Johannesburg and Cape Town, seeing the shanty towns, showcased to my young mind the damage systematic racism does and helped shape and form my views of government, civil rights, and the lives of those in other countries. So she often talks about how valuable her experience was. So let me tell you a little bit about a few of our awesome HBCUs that have study abroad programs. And I want to remind you that the information that I present is only a small portion of what you can learn when you do your research. So Morehouse College has a 4-week program, and their 4-week program meets academic and cultural immersion needs of students. And while students are there, they take classes every day of the week with native speaking Costa Rican instructors, and they take classes exclusively in Spanish. They also have a chance to do extracurricular activities that include dance and museum tours, and they actually are paired with the host family. So they live with a family while they're there during the program. And destinations that they've had for 2020, their destination was Costa Rica. And previous programs included Spain and France and Cuba. And so they take their students in a different location each year and give them an immersive experience. And while they're there, students also get a chance to have 2 excursions. And these are specially designed for them. They get to go to the port city of Limon on the Caribbean coast, and they get to go to the province of Guanacaste. Now, the port city of Limon is actually special because they're the only college that actually gets to take their students there. Spelman College, and Stacy is actually an alumni of Spelman College. Spelman students, they've traveled to over 40 countries. Imagine it, over 40 countries. They've been to Africa and Asia, the Caribbean, Europe, and Latin America. And their programs range from a summer program, which is like 4 to 6 weeks, to a semester, and they even have year-long programs. So you could go and immerse yourself in another culture for up to a year. And some of their examples, Chinese, where they spend a month learning the Chinese language and culture in Shanghai. They study French on the island of Martinique, and they stay with host families and they study the language and the culture. And they also study Spanish in tons of different places, including Costa Rica, the Dominican Republic, Ecuador, Mexico, Spain. And again, they actually live with the families. So they are immersed in the culture, even in the social and environmental, economic, and community issues. So it's a lot different from just visiting and staying in a hotel and just kind of being a tourist. They actually get a chance to live lives with people in another place. And some benefits of the program is Spelman partners with lots of different organizations, and they even offer scholarships. All of these schools offer scholarships, or they offer connections, meaning information, and they connect students with programs that offer funding for study abroad. Howard University, these students can study abroad after 2 semesters of study. So all of these schools, all of these colleges and universities do have some requirements. So it's not like when you start, you're like, okay, my first semester, I'm gonna study abroad. They all have requirements. So Howard says after 2 semesters of study, you are eligible to apply to a study abroad program. And Howard students can study for up to a year, and they can go during the summer as long as they meet the eligibility requirements. And you get a chance to go to Africa or Asia, the Caribbean, Canada, Europe, all these amazing places. And the price actually depends on the program you select. So it's not like a one size fits all in the sense that it's all the same price. The price is dependent upon your course of study, where you choose to go and what that includes. They have scholarships. There are also private scholarships and even loans available. And there are lots of options when you do your study abroad program. You can homestay, that's with a family. You could get an apartment, or you can stay on campus, because these colleges, they partner with colleges and universities in these locations. So they actually get a chance to immerse themselves not only in the culture, but also in the academic learning as well, by taking classes on their campuses. And Howard University, and I got this right from their website, there are a million different reasons to go abroad. But here are a few. to learn and experience a new culture and language, to learn about your major or minor from an international perspective. You get a chance to learn about the United States from the outside. You get a chance to experience a new university style and system because universities in different countries often operate in different ways from the universities here in the US. And you definitely get a chance to make yourself a competitive applicant for future opportunities, whether that's jobs, internships, fellowships, graduate school. Being a student or a person who has had a chance to study abroad gives you a different perspective on life, and it gives you a different set of skills. So when applying for a job or an internship, that kind of gives you, in some ways, kind of a leg up because you have more world knowledge to offer, in the sense that you can apply those learnings to whatever that endeavor is that you hope to get started with. Tuskegee is another university that offers 3 types of international programs. They have academic enrichment, internships, and study abroad. So for academic enrichment, they are short trips where a faculty member takes a group of students and you earn academic credit. And those last up to 6 weeks. Internships include study, volunteer opportunities, and research projects. And those are anywhere from several weeks or several months. And then of course, the general study abroad program, students take classes at and receive transfer credit from a participating university overseas. And the program can last up to a semester. And Tuskegee has a universal global office, and they partner with 18 institutions in 13 countries. There are lots of scholarships and grants. And that was one thing that was so amazing to me when I was doing my study so that I could give you guys great information. There are tons of scholarships and grants available to fund your study abroad participation. Because a lot of times students might think, you know, I would love to study abroad, but I don't have the money. There is so much out there that it's totally possible for you to study abroad. So don't let the idea of money keep you from even looking into the opportunities. A little bit about funding your trip. So far I've given you just information about what study abroad is. Some information about several of our historically Black colleges and universities that offer programs, and there are others. And of course, anytime we're talking about something like taking a trip or traveling, we think about funding because sometimes that stops people from even looking into the opportunity. So I just want to give you a little bit of information about funding your trip, but I wanted to bring you this quote from Malcolm X. He says, without education, you're not going anywhere in this world. And that's true of your education just in terms of regular elementary, middle, and high school, your education in college, your lifelong education, but also your university and college education. Any kind of knowledge that you can build and give yourself is going to help you in this world. So nothing is impossible, you all. It is totally possible. Most universities offer some sort of university scholarships, and there are also private scholarships. There are hundreds of scholarships out there that you can apply for, ranging anywhere from $250 to thousands of dollars. And when I say thousands, I'm talking into the $10,000 and $20,000 range. There is so much out there. There are grants also. There are hundreds of grants available, and that could be dependent on the university you attend. It could be dependent on your course of study or even where you want to go. So there's so much available. You could always work to save money for your trip. And of course, that's always good because it's not just funding the trip, but it's also to have spending money when you're there. Because like, for example, when my sister went, she worked to save money so that she was able to buy souvenirs when she was there. So she got a chance to have the experience, and she brought us a cool few things back too. And of course, loans. There are always educational loans available. And my recommendation is always to start with scholarships and grants, because those are free money, work to save, and you can always take out loans to help fund your trip. Don't let anything stop you from the idea if it's something that you really and truly want to do. And I always encourage you, like I encourage my students, believe in the magic of your dreams. As you're growing and as you're learning about all these worldwide opportunities, believe in your dreams, because you are capable and you are able, and don't let anybody stop you. Sometimes you just have to find the information, find those cheerleaders, find those people who can help you to achieve your dream. But no matter what, believe in the magic of your dreams, because you are worthy. Now, do you have any questions for me?
Feel free to come off mute if you have any questions, or raise your hand, or you can even use the chat. Please, please, please take advantage of this opportunity to ask questions about studying abroad. Okay, so everybody's an expert. You did
Internet.
yes.
Internet is awesome, you guys. I got to tell you that if you're kind of like, well, I have questions, but I'm not sure, I will honestly tell you that I wasn't sure either, but the information is out there. If you have a question, Google is your friend, okay? Do not be afraid to look it up and take notes. You might not be thinking about it now, but maybe later you'll come back to the idea. So always make sure you put in the time and effort to do research, and always ask questions.
I have a question.
Okay.
Is there a place that you could go, let's say like there's a particular country you want to go to and you want to see what schools has a study abroad program for that country? Is there a place that you could search for that by country?
That is an excellent question. One great resource I saw was studyabroad.com. And that website had lots of different options. You could choose your university, you could choose your course of study, you could choose how long you want to go for. So it is a great resource to kind of see what options are out there. It even offers information on like organizations that can help you learn more about studying abroad. And of course, you guys, when in doubt, just Google study abroad, and it will give you tons of websites too.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Tammy. I appreciate that. That was some really good information. In fact, I can tell you Spelman College definitely encourages students to study abroad for a semester. At least that's what most of them do. And it's a very enriching experience. So no matter where you choose to go to school, I would like to encourage you to consider studying abroad. If it's for a semester, for a year, or for a month, however long, it would definitely be worth the time and effort to do so. Okay, so we are going to switch over to another, oh, let me put my video on. We're going to switch over to another presentation, and it's about how to write the personal essay or personal statement for college applications. Everyone who's a student on here, I'm going to ask you to please get some paper and pen or pencil, because this is going to be somewhat interactive. I'm going to ask you to come off mute a few times, and also to put some information in the chat. This is going to help you with writing a personal essay or statement as it pertains to the college application process. Did any of you guys, or who on here does not even know that you're supposed to do a personal essay or personal statement to go to college? Let's see, is the raise hands feature working on here? Let's see, raise hands. Let me see. Can you raise your hands if you did not know that you have to do a personal essay or statement? I don't see any hands. Okay. All right, not sure if it's working. So I will say this, I'm going to give you a lot of information. Follow along as best you can, take notes. Try to participate when I ask for participation. And I'm also going to ask some of my sorority sisters that if you are if I'm at a point where you feel like you can provide some additional input, please feel free to jump in and do so. Okay, everyone, stand by. Okay, here we go. Again, this is about writing your personal statement for your college application. And on the agenda today, we are going to cover what is a personal statement? What is the purpose of a personal statement? What do colleges look for? How do you write a personal statement that wows? We're going to do a brainstorm activity, and I'm going to help you out with just where to begin. How do you get started? And then at the very end, I'm going to show you some of the common application essay questions that you may have an opportunity to answer. Okay. Screen. Now I know this sounds boring, right? Writing a personal essay or personal statement, but I'll be honest with you. If you have to do any type of writing, any type of essay or storytelling, at least you get to do it about yourself. Okay. The whole point of writing a personal essay is to show the college admissions committee who you are. Why do you deserve to be admitted to their school? Okay. So in other words, the focus of the essay is you. What are your achievements? What are your obstacles? What are your goals? What are your values? Again, this is all about you. You get to tell your own personal story. Okay. Oh, did I miss a page here? Let's see. Okay. When you're writing your personal essay, this is your opportunity to speak about your unique experiences, your unique qualities, unique beliefs. You're going to give that person who's reading your essay a glimpse into who you are. Keep in mind, the people who are reading these essays, the admissions office, they're getting thousands and thousands of applications, right? And transcripts. Anybody can have a good transcript. But the purpose of the personal essay is to make you stand out. This is your opportunity to introduce yourself, tell them who you are, tell your story, tell why they should consider letting you into their college. Okay. What are the colleges looking for in these essays? Well, they want to get a better understanding of your background. Okay. They want to get a good and realistic sense of the flesh and blood person behind the paper. In other words, who is this person that filled out this application? Who is this person that sent us a transcript? Who is this person? And then also, they want to get a sense of your commitment to the things that are most interesting to you. Okay. Here are some questions that you need to ask yourself when you get ready to start writing your personal statement. What's special? What's unique, distinctive, or impressive about your life? What are your career goals? What skills do you possess? And I hope that you guys are thinking about this as I'm reading these out, how you can answer some of these questions, because you're going to get an opportunity a little bit later on. Are there gaps or discrepancies in your academic record that you should explain? Maybe you started off as a D student and you were having a lot of personal issues, or you had to work to help support your family, or you just weren't getting along with the people the other students at your school. But then you turned it around. You turned that D into a C or into a B, or let's just say an A. Or you found that you made friends with the school bully, and she just needed somebody to be a friend with as well. And now all of a sudden you and the school bully are friends and you're both getting good grades. What is it that you could tell in your story that would show that I started in a lower place, but I ended up in a higher place? How did you turn yourself around? Okay. What are the details of your life that might help the committee understand you better? Okay. So now we're going to do a little activity. I want you guys to start brainstorming right now. Think of a few qualities or characteristics that define you. Okay. Tell me, what would you like for someone to know about you? Please go ahead and jot a few of those things down in the chat. And I'm going to ask one of my sorority sisters to please let me know what you're seeing in there. Go ahead. Again, list some of the qualities and characteristics that define you. If someone were to describe you, what would they say? Would they say, oh, she's fun, or oh, she's really cool, Or, oh, he's a nerd. What, what are some of the characteristics that people use to define you? Oh, she's a good student. She makes all A's and B's. Oh, she's the lead. She's the president of the Student Body Association, Student Government Association. Has anyone put anything in the chat? Am I going to have to start calling names?
I don't see anything. Oh, someone funny, competitive, cool.
Okay, okay, competitive. Okay. Is there anything else?
Micah has said that adventurous, kind-hearted, outgoing.
Oh yes, Micah's a future Spelmanite. I already know that. Her mom and I were roommates at Spelman. But yes, definitely, I would agree with those characteristics. Thank you, Micah, for participating. Can someone else please join in?
We have quite a few more in the chat.
Okay.
We have from Zoe Green, quiet, cool, funny. David said he is strong-willed. If I want something, I'm going to put my all into it until I achieve it.
There you go. There you go. That's good. That's really, all of these are good.
Yes. And then we have a few more, and then I'll finish up. We have Israel saying ambitious, athletic, inspirational, powerful, focused.
Okay. Okay.
Jocelyn said helpful, and Cassandra said creative, helpful, funny, energetic.
Awesome. I like all of those. Good, good, good. Okay. Good start, everybody. I appreciate your participation. Okay, so we're going to move on a little bit. Next slide. Up. Okay. How to write that wows. First of all, be you. Okay, don't write a statement that represents what you think the people want to hear at the college. You need to be you. Always be you, no matter what. Always be yourself. Okay, the statement, whatever you write, it should feel natural to you because you're speaking about yourself. Show what makes you unique. Tell your story in an interesting way. Okay. Also, edit your work. Have someone else review and edit your work as well. I also have it in another point somewhere in here that you should read your personal statement out loud. Things sound better when you read them out, sound different when you read them out loud versus reading them in your head. Then ask someone else to and review it and edit it. The key to doing all of that is to make sure that you give yourself enough time to make revisions. Don't do this on the day before you're ready to submit, okay? In fact, you can start working on this tonight after we do this presentation or over the weekend. Just start jotting some things down about yourself so that when it's time to start writing your personal essay or personal statement, you already have an outline or some notes of the things that you want to say about yourself, okay? An effective statement will answer, who am I? What do I want to be? What kind of contributions do I want to make and how? I can tell you one of the things that Spelman College is looking for is, what do you want to be when you grow up? How do you want to contribute to society? What do you want to give back to society? Those are things that colleges are looking for. Why does it make sense for me to study at blank? If you know that you want to be an engineer and you're trying to get into MIT, one of the top engineering schools in the country, indicate that in your personal statement. It makes sense for me to study at MIT because blah, 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 blah. I participated in STEM programs. I did summer internship. I did extracurricular activities working at this or did a summer internship at this engineering firm. Just, try to make it applicable to the field or area that you would like to go into, especially if you're going to a school that specializes in that area.
Sister Stacy?
Yes.
I have a question. What
Yes.
advice could you give them if they're unsure about what they want to be?
like I was. You know what? You don't have to have a major when you go into college. You really don't. You can make a determination of your major later on. In fact, sometimes you pick a major when you first go in and then you change your mind later on. That happened to me as well. So when you're writing your statement, your personal statement, it doesn't have to be focused on your career aspirations or what you want to be, but it still needs to be a personal statement about you, what makes you unique, what attributes or characteristics you have. These are just suggestions. Like if you know for a fact that you want to be a doctor, or you know for a fact that you want to be a lawyer, you can speak to that in your personal statement. But again, you don't have to. That's not a requirement. These are just suggestions. And again, the focus, the point is to keep it about yourself and make you stand out from all the other applicants. Let them get to know who you are as opposed to just a piece of paper with an application and some test scores on it. Okay, does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, all right. Okay, here's some more things that I want you to remember. You need to sell yourself, make yourself come alive. Again, they have thousands of applicants. You need to tell them who you are, what you're all about, what makes you unique, what makes you special, what obstacles you've overcome. Sell yourself. Now, another thing to remember, because they have a lot of applications, you only have maybe 3 to 5 minutes to grab their attention, okay, or the person who's reading your statement. You need to make your first paragraph powerful. Put as much important or pertinent information in that first paragraph as possible. And in a few minutes, we're going to look at 2 examples of some personal statements so that you can get an idea of what I'm referring to, okay? Another thing to remember, always write in the first person, I, me, me. Use concrete examples. If you overcame an obstacle in your life and you're proud of it and you want to share it, give that example. Don't make it up, okay? Again, read your essay out loud and have others read your essay as well, okay? And make sure you have time for multiple revisions. Don't let it be, 6 o'clock on Tuesday night and you need to submit your application, Wednesday morning or Tuesday night, trying to get through this essay and have somebody revise it or make corrections. Give yourself time. Don't stress yourself out by waiting to the last minute. Okay. Now, where do you begin? How do you start doing an essay? Well, you need to brainstorm. So here's where I'm asking you to use your paper and pen. List the activities that you would like to include. What are your hobbies, or what are the things that you do that interest you? You serve on the junior usher board. You're the class secretary. You are the captain of the basketball team, or you're on the track team, or you're on the tennis team. You are in the National Honor Society, or you do volunteer work at your local community center. List the activities you'd like to include. Just go ahead and start jotting them down, okay? Now, after those activities, think about a story that you could tell. Kind of hook a story into one of those activities. I used to have friends that hung out at the YMCA, or when I was a little kid, I had a big brother that hung out at the YMCA. And when I got into high school, I realized that my brother had a really good experience at the YMCA, and I want to help others have that same good experience. So I started volunteering at the YMCA. I volunteer at the local library telling stories to kids. Okay, I'm a member of Jack and Jill. I'm a member of Girl Scouts. I'm a member of Boy Scouts. And these are the things that I do. And these are things that I've learned. Before I was a member of Jack and Jill, I did not know how to do this. Before I was a member of Boy Scouts, I didn't know how to, tie a knot. I don't know. But just think about the activities that you're going to list and then how you can tell a story about it. I was volunteering and working at the local public library, and I noticed one of the kids there didn't know how to read, and so I started tutoring him or her. Okay, these are just things that you should consider putting into your personal statement. Okay. Obstacles you have overcome. I don't know, maybe you may have lost a parent, or you're being raised by a grandparent, or you're just in a household where you don't have a lot of family support, and you've had to overcome that obstacle to achieve good grades. Or maybe you were skipping classes once upon a time, and then you finally realize that that's not the lifestyle that you want. And you made a turnaround in your life and decided you can do better. Or maybe your school counselor or your minister at your church or your local member of Alpha Kappa Alpha got on your case and said, hey, you can do better than this. What can I do to help you? And you overcame that obstacle. Tell that story. Okay, tell that story. List ways you have shown leadership or initiative. What about your life are you most proud of and why? You sold the most number of Girl Scout cookies. I don't know, there's some more examples. Can you guys think of some more examples? Somebody help me out here. What are some good examples of leadership or initiative or things that you are proud of? When you want to come off mute and share any of your stories? Don't be shy.
Would you include sports?
Definitely, definitely.
Clubs?
Showing sports would show that you have a competitive nature and that you're disciplined and that you have focus. Clubs especially, yes. Yep, chess club. I don't know, what are some of the clubs in high school? Name some clubs for me, you guys. I've been out of high school a little while. Name some of the clubs that are good ones. Nobody's in any clubs in any of these high schools? Really? Okay, well.
There's a chat comment,
Okay.
Stacy, that says being the best outfielder in the
Okay.
baseball team.
Yes, yes. So that's something that you're proud of. Understandable, okay? And again, playing in a sport requires discipline. It requires focus, dedication, right? Anything else? Anybody wants to come off mute? Anything else in chat? No? Okay, well, we'll move on.
You got a couple more just came in.
Okay, all right.
Alexander brought all my grades from D's to F's and to all A's.
What?
That's major.
That is major. That is major. Do you want to share how or what happened that made that take place? Please share. No? Okay, well, keep that in mind because that would be a really good story to put in your personal essay.
I'll share.
Okay, yes, please do.
Because he reminds me of myself. I graduated from Thomas Jefferson High in 1977, and for 10th and 11th grade, I had almost all F's. And I was too busy going to the park and high and hanging out. And when I finally got my head on straight, which was my last year, I went to night school, I did my homework, I turned in my assignments, and I ended up getting all A's and 1 B in the 12th grade. And what got me into college was my personal essay, because I did not qualify. I didn't have the GPA, but I wrote this essay talking about how I had changed, what he just said. I put all of that in my essay, and it was just a heartfelt. I wasn't trying to like bump anybody's head. I just told the truth, what I used to do and why I changed and how I changed and all of that, and my dreams to be a journalist. Long story short, they called me down for an interview and they had my essay in their hand and they said, we love, tell us more. So I told them more and I ended up getting accepted. And I ended up getting a bachelor's in journalism and ended up being a newspaper reporter. And now I'm executive director of the Wooten Center.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a story.
And so I'm seeing kids all the time where, you know, similar stories, not that they had something as bad a situation I had, but who, you know, are writing their statements, and is really helping them get into college, because people that are looking at reading your essays and who are looking at your applications are people just like you and me, and they are impressed just like me, you and me. So it's like, you know, I know that Stacy, she's trying to like really prompt you and to show you how, just kind of dig into yourself and pat yourself on the back and talk about those things, those achievements, and where you came from. And people like us are sitting down there reading these things, and we're going, wow, you know, just like we just did. So, you know, pour everything you can into that essay. It might make a difference into, you know, whether you get into the college you want to get into or not.
Agreed. Agreed. Very good. Thank you, Naomi. I appreciate you sharing that. I actually did get a message from someone. I think this must have come across on YouTube, and they asked, how do you talk about yourself without being stuck up or without sounding stuck up? How do you talk about yourself without sounding stuck up? Well, first of all, this is on paper, right? You're trying to sell yourself. You can't be stuck up on paper. You have, if nobody's going to love you the way you love yourself. Okay. You have to have enough pride in yourself to speak up for yourself and represent yourself. And that's not being stuck up. Now, being stuck up might be you walking in the yard, you know, with your nose up in the air and acting all sedity and acting like you better than other people. That might be considered stuck up. But on paper, when you have to brag about yourself, you have to make yourself stand out. Again, they're looking at thousands and thousands of applications, and you have to sell yourself. Okay. Does anyone else have any input about that? How do you sell yourself without sounding stuck up?
This is Sauda. I would love to add to that as well. I think also what looks good is that even when you're talking about yourself in these personal statements, you want to always connect it. So for example, Miss Naomi shared her story in terms of an arc where she started off one way and then she improved. Another thing may be where you possibly give back to the community. So there's always a story there. So don't look at it as you're just like a whole essay where you're just bragging about yourself in a negative way, like Stacy said, but also look at it as you're telling a story, you're painting a picture and giving them a sense of who you are. And typically in personal statements, you're showing them like your growth or what you do in the community anyway, which is still bragging about yourself. It's a positive because you're showing improvement or what you do and how you give back. So that's usually how you want to do that too, is make some type of connection with the story.
Hi, I wanted to also share that this will be your first, probably your first opportunity to do something like this, right? To speak of yourself in a very high regard, but it's not going to be your last. So you have to do this continually throughout your life. This is the best opportunity for you to brag about yourself. Don't hold anything back. We want to see the best of you, or they want to see what's the best of you that you have to offer. So brag all you want in this paper. And I want to say that carries over throughout your career, because when you go up for promotions, look, it's funny, but when you go up for promotions at your job or what have you later on downstream, you are the best employee they ever came across in their life. When I go up for promotions, I never tell them what my areas of improvement are. I have no areas of improvement. They will have to tell me what they are, because in my eyes, I'm the best that they've ever had, and I deserve all the money that they have to give. And so I'm just saying, always put yourself first, always feel comfortable, get comfortable bragging and showing the best of you. Okay.
Thank you, Lene and Sauda. Does anyone else have any more input here?
I have one more.
Okay.
I just shared in the chat a link to the UC campuses. Their personal statement guide for freshman applicants. So when you get a chance, click on that. But there's 2 prompts that they offer. The first one is for your background, and the second one, they're saying, tell us about your personal quality, your talent, your accomplishments, your contribution or experience that's important to you. What about this quality or accomplishment makes you proud, and how does it relate to the person you are? So they're asking you to brag on yourself. So don't feel bad about bragging yourself. They're asking you to do that.
Perfect. That's all those things you just said are things that I've just mentioned already in here. What makes you most proud? Obstacles you've overcome. Again, brag on yourself. Thank you, Miss Naomi. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so now we're going to read a sample of a personal statement. Let's see. All right, I'll go ahead and read this one out loud. Since childhood, I have been an obsessive builder and problem solver. When I was 6, I spent 2 months digging a hole in my backyard, ruining the grass lawn, determined to make a giant koi pond after watching a show on HGTV. After watching Castaway when I was 7, I started a fire in my backyard, to my mother's horror, using bark and kindling like Tom Hanks did. I neglected chores and spent nights locked in my room drawing pictures and diagrams or learning Rubik's Cube algorithms while my mother yelled at me through the door to go to sleep. I've always been compulsive about the things I set my mind to. The satisfaction of solving problems and executing my vision is all consuming. But my obsessive personality has helped me solve other problems too. When I was 8, I taught myself how to pick locks. I always dreamed of how cool it must have been inside my brother's locked bedroom. So I didn't eat at school for 2 weeks and saved up enough lunch money to buy a lock picking set from Home Depot. After I wiggled the tension wrench into the keyhole and twisted it counterclockwise, I began manipulating the tumblers in the keyhole with the pick until I heard the satisfying click of the lock and entered the room. I devoured a stash of lemon heads, which was awesome, but not as gratifying as finally getting inside his room. Wow, what a story. Okay, so let me get to my questions here. Stand by. Okay, how did the author make their statement personal? What was personal about this story? Okay, and then what did you learn about the author from this statement? Someone please come off mute or chat, let me know. How did the author make their statement personal? Don't be shy. Any takers out there? Okay, well, what about answering the second question? What did you learn about the author from this statement?
That she was always encouraged to keep trying harder.
Yep, okay, okay. Thank you. Is that Cassandra?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Cassandra.
You're welcome.
What else? Did you know anything else about the author? Other than this person liked to watch HGTV?
This person likes to, I guess, break and entering.
Well, I don't know that it was so much about them liking to break and enter. It was about the determination of being able to do so. So determined at doing it that this person didn't eat at school for 2 weeks and saved up lunch money to buy a lock picking set. So I see determination. What else? What else do you see? What about the stories that they shared from their childhood in the very first paragraph? Problem solver.
From the first paragraph, I see that this person, like, they're just not like other people. Like, they like to do stuff outside the box, like you said, saving up money for 2 weeks with their lunch money.
Okay, okay. What look at that last sentence in the first paragraph. What do you see in that?
Compulsive,
Say it again.
that you always been compulsive.
Okay, but look at the last sentence in the first paragraph. I see that too.
The satisfaction of solving problems and executing my visions and all consuming.
There you go. Solving problems, executing my vision, satisfaction. Okay. This person is a problem solver and they get satisfaction from that. And this person, when they have a vision and it's something they really want to do, they see it through. They do it. They see a way to make it happen. Okay. Do you learn anything else out of this? Out of this statement? What makes it so personal? Well, I would say the personal part is they're telling a story from their childhood. You know, what happened when they were 6, what happened when they were 7. Okay. Things they like to do at night in your room, drawing pictures and diagrams and learning Rubik's Cube algorithms. That's personal. That's personal stuff. Okay. Does anybody else have any more input? We have one more sample to look at. No? Okay, well, we'll move on. Okay. Would someone else like to read this one? Okay, I'll read. As a young child, I was obsessed with flying. I spent hours watching birds fly, noting how the angle of their wings affected the trajectory of their flight. I would then waste tons of fresh printer paper, much to the dismay of my parents, to test out various wing types by constructing paper airplanes. I got a lot from that paragraph already. One day, this obsession reached its fever's pitch. I decided to fly. I built a plane out of a wooden clothes rack and blankets with trash bags as precautionary parachutes. As you can imagine, the maiden flight didn't go so well. After being in the air for a solid second, the world came crashing around me as I slammed onto the bed, sending shards of wood flying everywhere. Yes, even as a 5-year-old, my first thoughts weren't about the bleeding scratches that covered my body. Why didn't the wings function like a bird's wings? Why did hitting something soft break my frame? Why hadn't the parachutes deployed correctly? Above all, why didn't I fly? As I grew older, my intrinsic drive to discover why stimulated a desire to solve problems, allowing my singular passion of flying to evolve into a deep-seated love of engineering. Okay. How did the author make their statement personal? What did you learn about the author from this statement? Somebody please come off mute or enter it into the chat. What did you learn about the author from these statements? Anybody?
I learned that the author learned to love engineering through his childhood from testing out gadgets he would make during his childhood.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Jaden. Yes, this person developed a love for engineering and it started as a child. Okay. What makes this a personal statement? What are they sharing with you in this story that's personal? Anybody? Well, similar to the last one, they're telling a story from something that happened as a young child, right? They spent hours looking at birds, studying the angles of their wings. Well, what makes a bird stay in flight? Why can't I fly? What do I need to do so that I can fly? Let me see if I can do it. I'm going to build my own wings. And then when it didn't work, I wasn't worried about, I wasn't worried about the scratches and the pain I was in from falling. I was more concerned about, well, why didn't it work? What did I do wrong? I see another good word in there, intrinsic drive. Stimulated a desire. Solve problems. Okay. I want you guys to make note of these things, because this is a story that if I were reading this, if I was a college admissions person or a counselor, this story would appeal to me. I find this very interesting. This person likes to solve problems. This person is not afraid to try. Okay. Has a love of engineering, curiosity. Okay. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to share about this statement? Or y'all sitting there thinking, this fool trying to learn how to fly like a bird, knowing he can't do it. Seriously though, think about stories like that apply to you, because you're going to need to tell a nice story or something that sets you apart from all the other applicants. Okay. All right, moving on. So I hope that you guys brainstormed a little bit, wrote a few things down, because I want you to go back now through your list and read it again and think, maybe I forgot something. Oh yeah, I forgot about the time when this happened. Oh yeah, I forgot about the time when that happened. Did anybody make a list of anything that they can write, share with us right now? Did you make a list of things that you would write or say about yourself in your personal statement?
I could go.
Okay, thanks, David.
All right. So some of the ideas that I wrote down was like, I was on the track team. I'm in the National Honor Roll Society. I'm on the football team. And I'm an honor roll student. And then like basically the same thing. I forgot the person who said it, but they said that they weren't doing good in school, and then like they did an entire 180 and started doing amazing. And I could I have my stories basically similar to that. Like beginning of high school, I wasn't really doing that good, and I realized that, and I sat down with myself and I made the decision to do better. And then ever since then I've been getting 4.0s and doing good.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. What year are you in school, David, if I may ask? Are you a sophomore, junior, or senior?
I'm a junior.
Okay, very good. Do you have aspirations to go to college?
Oh, of course. I don't have a choice, actually.
Okay, that's good to know. Very good. Okay. So you don't have to write your statement now, because you'll be doing it more or less in your senior year, but this is a good time for you to start your outline and like the things that you wrote down, turn that into a story. What was it that made you start getting better grades? Something happened inside of you that said, okay, I'm going to start doing better. Is there a story that goes with that? Did something happen in your life or something personal? And you don't have to share it now. I'm just asking you to keep that in mind when you're writing your personal statement. Tell a story, your rags to riches, if you will.
Yeah.
I started down here and now ended up here.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Someone else, please share. I want to hear more. What are some ideas that you have about things that you can say about yourself? Nothing? Okay. Don't be shy.
I don't have a list, but the only thing I have up here so far is like my greatest achievement so far in life is, I guess this was ninth grade year. In my ninth grade year of high school, I went from a 2.5 GPA to a 3.5 GPA.
Okay. What happened? What made that happen? How did you change it?
In all honesty, my friends were just making fun of me because I wasn't allowed to go to the honor roll party assembly. And I told them, I was like, yeah, you guys can make fun of me all you want because next quarter I'll be there. And that's what I did.
Yes. Okay. Okay. That's excellent. I love that story. I love it. I love it. What year are you in school?
I'm a junior in high school now.
Okay. Very good. All right. And you're gonna keep those grades up, right? In fact, do even better if you can next year.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm striving for a 4.0 this quarter.
All right now. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Good job. That's excellent. So keep in mind that I know several of you guys are juniors, but this is going to give you an opportunity to start. You're going to have something to build from, and you need to start now so that when you get to be seniors, you will already have this halfway done. You'll already have your thoughts written out, your words written out, your story prepared. And when you get to be a senior, it won't be anything for you to make it happen. Okay. All right. Does anyone else want to share? No? All right. Well, there'll be another opportunity. Stand by. Okay. Here are some of the questions that are on the 2021 Common App. And I believe the way it works is you get to pick the one that you want to answer, one or two of them that you want to answer. So let's go ahead and read. Would somebody like to read the first one? Am I the only one? Okay, so, yeah, I heard someone.
All right, number one, some students have a background, identity, interest, or talent that is so meaningful they believe their application would be incomplete without it. If this sounds like you, then please share your story.
Very good. Thank you, David. Okay, someone read the second one.
The lesson we take from obstacles we encounter can be fundamental to later success. Recount a time when you faced a challenge, setback, or failure. How did it affect you? What did you learn from the experience?
Okay, thank you. I'll read the third one. Reflect on a time when you questioned or challenged a belief or idea. What prompted your thinking? What was the outcome? Okay, someone want to read number 4? Please, someone read number 4. A problem you've solved or a problem you'd like to solve. It can be an intellectual challenge, a research query, an ethical dilemma, anything that is of personal importance, no matter the scale. Explain its significance to you and what steps you took or could be taken to identify a solution. All right. The fifth question, discuss an accomplishment, event, or realization that sparked a period of personal growth and a new understanding of yourself or others. Again, these are questions that you can choose to answer when you're filling out the Common App. Okay, Common App is the application online form that you fill out when you're applying to colleges. Okay. Describe a topic, idea, or concept you find so engaging that it makes you lose all track of time. Why does it captivate you? What or who do you turn to when you want to learn more? Share an essay on any topic of your choice. It can be one you've already written, one that responds to a different prompt, or one of your own design. Okay. So look at those essays, and I'll bring them back up for you again, and consider which one you would be able to answer. Like right now, if you were applying for an a position, or not a position, an opportunity to go to college, which one of those questions could you answer right now fairly easily? On a sheet of paper, go ahead and start brainstorming and try to come up with a few answers. I will bring the questions back up for you. Okay. Think of a time when you questioned or challenged a belief or an idea. Okay. Or did you have to overcome an obstacle? Tell that story. We've heard that one a few times tonight. Okay. When you face a challenge, your friends challenged you about attending the honor roll celebration, and you overcame that challenge. Okay. Do you have a meaningful talent? Okay, I'm going to go to the next set of questions. Seriously, guys, look at these questions because you would have to answer one. Okay. Describe a topic or a concept that you find so engaging that you lose track of time. Why does it captivate you? Are you captivated by, I don't know, Black Lives Matter? Are you captivated by, well, I don't know. What are kids what are teenagers captivated by these days besides videos? Or choose a topic of your choice. Do I see somebody trying to send a message in chat right now? Oh, okay. What about problem solving? Is there a problem out there that you would really like to solve, that you would really like to start doing some research to come up with a solution for? It could be an ethical dilemma, right? Systemic racism, right? Okay. Are you guys thinking, is that why you're so quiet? We still have 20 minutes, so I'm really hoping that somebody can come off mute and start sharing your thoughts on some of these questions. Not right now? Okay. Does anybody want to, are you guys writing these down so that if you're not able to answer them today, you can at least consider answering them later? Do you need me to go back to the first slide?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. So when you're looking at these questions, pick one that you feel like you will have the best chance at writing a good story. One that you can, remember, you only have 3 to 5 minutes to get their attention. So you don't want to take, a whole page to answer or too long because you're going to lose their interest after the first paragraph. Remember, you have to sell yourself. Tell your story. Who is this person that is named Jaden Overton on a college application? What are the qualities that you want them to know about you? What are you proud of and why? What do you want this college to know about you that they're not going to see in the transcript? Go beyond your resume and your test scores, okay? Tell your strengths and weaknesses. What is the reason why you don't have a 4.0 GPA? Okay, you want me to go to the next page now? Are you finished writing these down? Yes, no?
Yes.
Thank you, okay. Does anybody need any more time on this section?
I have a question.
Yes.
How did you answer these questions?
Well, I'll be honest. Was that Jaden? I
Yes, it is.
graduated from college over 30 years ago. And so these were not the same questions that I had to answer. They've changed a lot over the years. But let me just see, if I were to answer one right now, let me think which one I would pick. Give me a second here. Let's see. Let me go back to the first page. Oh, went too far. Well, I think for me, I would, if I were doing this today in my 17-year-old self, describe a problem I'd like to solve. I'd like to solve the problem of systemic racism. I would love to go out there and do research and interviews and read and study and learn more about why people hate, why people don't like you because of the color of your skin. Where does that come from? And how do we get rid of the racism that exists in the society today, in the system today? So are you coming off mute to jump in on this?
Yes, of course. And I apologize that I was not prepared to be on camera, everyone. Please forgive me. So for me, and I'm not that, I'm only a few years behind Miss Stacy, so it's definitely been over 20 years from college. But I would say one thing that is memorable for number 5 for me, I definitely remember this, my 17-year-old self. I wrote an essay called Fitting into the Mold. And I share this because I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, in an all-Black neighborhood. And then I went to prep school in a predominantly majority population. So I was pretty much one of the only Black students there, and really wealthy people. And I really just didn't feel like I fit in at home because people told me that I talk like I was a white girl. And then I went to this prep school where everyone said, you know, oh, you know, you're so pro-Black, you're this. So I really just didn't feel like I fit in anywhere. So when I wrote this essay, it was really about just me realizing that it wasn't about fitting into anyone else's expectations as, you know, even as a teenager, but just really truly loving myself and accepting myself for who I was and just really moving forward in that light. And I've pretty much lived my life like that ever since.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you, Soda. Does anyone else have any input about questions that which question they would answer? No? Okay. That was a good question. Thank you for asking me that. You challenged me on that one and I appreciate it. Okay, let's see, where are we? We passed this part. Website resources, I guess that was it. Oh, I thought I had a little more on here. Okay. So let's just kind of recap some of this because I did give you a lot of information. I want to make sure that you made note of it. Without looking at this though, can someone tell me one of the things that they learned today that they didn't know before today? What did somebody come off mute and tell me something that they learned about writing a personal essay? Have you heard all of this before or was some of this news for you? Did anybody learn anything?
I didn't know that the college wanted to hear about how we felt and how we were coming up.
Okay. All right.
What I learned that the different aspects that's needed to like create a proper personal statement, and like the things colleges look for, and that's how you need to grab their attention because they have so like a diverse pool to pick from. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Does anyone feel inspired to start writing their personal essay soon?
Almost definitely.
Okay.
I do.
Diana, okay. What did you learn today that you didn't know before?
I didn't know colleges were more interested about my personal life. I thought they would be more interested in my academic life. So I guess I
Okay.
should probably start writing on my personal statements.
Yeah. I don't know how many of you keep journals, but and I'll be honest with you, I no longer keep a journal, but sometimes keeping a journal is in some ways it's therapeutic, but you learn about yourself as you write your thoughts and your life experiences. You learn a lot about yourself. And then if you start one now, and then when it's time to do your personal statement your senior year, you can have that to reflect back on, like, oh yeah, I remember last year when this happened, or oh yeah, I remember I was feeling really sad that time of year, this time of year, or I was so excited about my senior year, but coronavirus messed things up, and I ended up not doing as well as I wanted to, or just different things that you write in your journal that you don't think about when you're on the fly right now, like trying to come up with stuff to write in your personal statement. Keeping a journal might help you with remembering some of the things that have happened in your life. Well, I'm glad that you guys learned something, because this would have been a waste of time if you knew everything already. But let's just kind of recap some of it, okay? Because we have a little bit more time, and I want to make sure we, sometimes for me, repetition is the best way to learn. If I hear things more than once, then it tends to stick better, okay? So a personal statement is the essay you write to show a college admissions committee who you are and why you deserve to be admitted to their school. The focus of the essay is you, your achievements, your obstacles, your goals, your values. Okay. This is your opportunity to speak on your unique experiences, your qualities or beliefs. It provides a glimpse into who you are. It's your introduction to the selection committee. My name is Jaden Overton, and I am interested in da-da-da-da-da because of da-da-da-da-da-da. Who are you? Tell them who you are. Tell your story. This is going to give them a better understanding of your background. It's going to give them a good and realistic sense of the flesh and blood person behind the paper. So you have to come up off that paper, right? Make yourself alive. I am a living, breathing person. This is who Stacy is. Give them a sense of your commitment to things that are interesting to you. If you're playing football, I believe it was David that said he played football, or was it softball? It was a sport.
That was me,
And
football.
Football, okay. How many years did you play, or have you been playing?
Since freshman year.
Okay, so 2-3 years, right?
That's mine.
That shows that you have a commitment to football. This is something that interests you, and I'm committed to it. I'm sticking with it. I didn't try it for a year and found out I don't like it. It's not my thing, and I moved on. That happens, and that's okay. But the point of this is you're showing that you have a commitment to something. Sometimes you have to try different sports or activities to find your niche, to find what you like. But the point of all of this is show that you have a sense of commitment. Okay. What's special, unique, distinctive, and impressive about your life? What are your career goals? I know we talked about this a little bit earlier. You may not know what you want to major in, and that's okay. I didn't when I went to college, not right away. If you know right off the bat, include that in your essay. Okay. What skills do you possess? Are you really good at sewing? Are you really good at planting and gardening? Are you really good at math? Are you really good at fixing cars or graphic design work? Right? Computer work, coding. What are your skills? Are there gaps or discrepancies in your academic record that you should explain? We talked about this a little bit earlier as well. Yeah, I started off with a D's and F's, and I turned that into A's and B's. What details of your life might help the committee better understand you? Okay, we did an activity. This is how you're going to have a wow statement. Be you. Wow them with you. What makes you unique? Tell your story. And if nothing else, edit your work and have someone else edit your work. And give yourself enough time to make revisions to your work. Okay. In your statement, make sure that you answer this question: who am I? Who do I want to be? What kind of contribution do I want to make, and how? Why does it make sense for me to study at Spelman College? Why is this the right place or program? Draw some connections. Again, sell yourself, come alive, come up off that paper. Remember, you only have 3 to 5 minutes to grab the attention of the reader. Don't make it a long, drawn out story. Get to the point quickly, but make it a good and interesting story. Don't make it up. Tell the truth and tell the story about you. Okay? Always write in first person, I, me. Use concrete examples. If you did something, if you want to mention what you did in your essay, that I achieved this, I achieved that, give examples of how. I tutored a young lady and helped her learn how to read. She was reading at a she's in the 5th grade and she was reading at a 1st grade level, and I helped bring her reading skills up to a 5th grade level. Or I tutored 2 students in math. Or your story could be, I really struggled with math and I had to get tutoring and now I get good grades in math. Okay, use some examples. Again, read your essay out loud. It sounds a whole lot different when you're mouthing the words, when you're reading the words out loud versus just reading them quietly to yourself in your head. And let somebody else read it. One of the pet peeves I understand from the college admissions counselors is people who don't follow directions. If the instructions say to keep your essay to 100 words or less, keep it to 100 words or less. Don't make typos. Don't repeat yourself. Make sure that it makes sense what you're saying. Make it flow. Make it read correctly. So the best way to do that is let somebody else read it. And usually another set of eyes will catch a typo or a mistake before you will. I can read a statement 3 times and miss one little typo. And now that somebody else sees it, oh, this should have said so-and-so. You misspelled this word. I didn't catch it and I read it 3 times. Let somebody else read it out loud, follow the instructions and the application. Okay. And again, don't wait till the last minute. You have time to make revisions. Okay. When you get ready to start brainstorming. List the activities that you want to include. Think about the story you want to tell, the obstacles you have overcome. How have you shown leadership or initiative? What about your life are you most proud of and why? And there's one more down there at the bottom, which is cut off on my screen. I apologize that I can't see it. Okay, and then we went through 2 examples, all right? And then I gave you some questions that are on the common application. Does anyone have any questions or would anyone like to provide any more input?
I have an announcement at the end, Stacy, when you're done.
Okay, well, that pretty much concludes my presentation unless there's questions or if anybody would like additional information. No? Okay.
I have a question.
Oh, okay, yes.
Oh, for the personal statements, like for each university or college that we apply to, do we have to write a different statement or can we use the same statement?
Good question.
You can use the same. That is a good question. You can use the same. The joy of the Common App is you're going to fill out the application one time and shoot it off or send it off to multiple schools. And you can use the same statement.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Are there any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question. You said a Common App. What is that?
When you apply to college, you're going to go on a website called Common App, and it's basically where you're providing all the information that the college app that you're filling out the college application, but you only have to do it one time, and then you're going to shoot it off to the multiple schools that you're interested in applying to.
All right. You said it's called the Common App.
Common App. I don't have the website in front of me right this second, but while
In
Miss
fact,
Naomi
you
is
know
talking,
what?
I can look it up. Oh, I'm sorry.
Actually, I did put it in the chat earlier. So if you scroll up high, you're going to see the Common App for the HBCUs.
All right.
There's also links to apply for CSU and UCs.
Right.
Thank you
Some
very much.
schools don't use the Common App. Some schools have their own application process. I encourage you to go on the college's websites that you're interested in and look at what their college application process is. Some of them take Common App, some of them don't.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Miss Naomi. All right, well, if there are no more questions, then that concludes my presentation. I enjoyed sharing this information with you, and I hope that you learn from it and benefit from it. If you have any questions or need help, please let Miss Naomi or the Wooten Center staff know, and they can get in contact with me. Next month, we will be doing a workshop on how to fill out the college application, okay? We meet every first Friday at 5 o'clock. So we're showing you how to write your personal essay this month. Next month, you're going to learn how to fill out your college application. And then in December, we're going to do a financial aid workshop. So we encourage you to invite your parents to attend that one, especially because they're the ones who are most concerned about how you're going to pay for school. Okay.
So my announcement goes along with what you're saying, Stacy. Is this a good time?
Yes.
Okay, so if you look in the chat, I just put in there, starting Friday, this coming Friday, the Southern California Council on Black American Affairs, they're going to be with us every month following the CAP meeting. Whatever happens in CAP, they're going to follow up so that they're going to actually help you write your personal essays. So this is a hands-on workshop. And so you can RSVP for that, and it's next Friday, no cost, and you're going to get one-on-one help completing your essay. So those who are interested, just click on the link in the chat.
Very good. Well, this concludes our presentation. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Good night.
You too. Thank you very much.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for this session.
You're very welcome.